My dear subscribers, I'm sure it will come as no surprise to you that the moment I saw there was a Barbie perfume at Lush, I was going to go and get it, right? I'm giving it a sniff. It's something that obviously I was really excited about, but I feel like they've really missed a trick here, and I think it's a bit of a shame. The reason being that this is not a very original smelling perfume. Lush don't seem to have kind of gone, let's make a really cool Barbie perfume. What they seem to have done is taken like something else that they already make and then added some bits of their kind of quite typical Lush smell, and then just put it in a Barbie box and with a pink label. So I'm actually genuinely quite sad, because I know that like the Barbie shampoo there, that's Snow Fairy, and I have Snow Fairy, so we can discuss these two versus each other. Now, really cute box, obviously. You guys know how I feel about Lush, so I was just really excited about this. When I smelt it in store, my feelings were, yeah, it's quite Snow Fairy-like, but I would not be sad to have the Snow Fairy actual Perfume, you know, because I have the body spray, it's really nice, but I kind of like the idea of having something a bit stronger, a bit thicker, you know. I really do like that. It's a really cute box. So let's read what Lush say about Barbie times Lush, the perfume. It says, spritz this fun, fresh Barbie perfume just like our seasonal Snow Fairy. It has super sweet pink scent to bring a bit of magic to your day. Cherry notes, almond essential oil, along with comforting tonka and sweet wild orange create a fruity, happy fragrance. The ingredients on the back don't give you many hints as to what this is going to smell like particularly. So we've got tonka absolute, almond essential oil, olibanum, which is a resinous kind of slightly smoky scent, but I do like olibanum. Lush have it in a lot of things. Champaca absolute, that's what they had in Princess Peach as well. That's a kind of pineapple-y floral. Sweet wild orange oil, coumarin, so even more sweetness. And then some bits and pieces I don't necessarily recognise. Some benzyl. Okay. And I think alpha isomethyl ionone. That's the thing that really, really smells like violet. And yeah, there is that classic smell in this that you get from Lush. So on Fragrantica, the notes that they list are a little bit, only slightly different. They've got coumarin, almond, sweet orange, olibanum, but they've also got magnolia. And I can kind of sense that here. So if we compare this to Snow Fairy is cotton candy, sweet notes, cherry, vanilla and pear. It's got musk in it, I know that. It's got a synthetic musk, it's got lime oil. Anything else going on here? Now, Snow Fairy does not have that same lush, slightly violety flower smell. Snow Fairy it smells like sweets. It doesn't smell very natural. It's quite synthetic, but in a lovely way, it smells like sweets. So this definitely has a vibe of Snow Fairy, but it doesn't smell exactly the same as Snow Fairy. And I would say it doesn't smell anywhere near as nice as Snow Fairy. So the problem that I have with Barbie times Lush is in the dry down, because when you first spray it, you get quite a lot of that lovely almond, and you get a little bit of that cherry smell. I mean, I don't know where it's coming from. That must be like a synthetic note, because there's not any kind of cherry listed in the ingredients, but that's the kind of vibe. You get that same sweetness. It does definitely have a Snow Fairy vibe, but it smells like a Lush shop. So it's almost like walking to the Snow Fairy display and hanging out near the Snow Fairy bath bombs. So bath bombs, obviously, they're actually, don't tell Lush I told you, but they're super easy to make yourself, because I think you can make them with like citric acid and baking powder. It's either baking powder or baking soda, but either way, I use baking soda for cleaning products. So It has like quite a harsh smell about it, like a nose tingling, incredibly dry and powdery, slightly salty smell about it. And that's, if you've used Lush bath bombs, you know that when you actually, if you smell the bomb, you get that kind of fizzy, salty vibe that is coming from the baking soda. You know, that's what makes it all fizzy like that when you put it in the bath. Now this smells like that when it dries down, so you get that nice, beautiful almond oil. So when I smelt this in store, that's really the vibe I got. I was like, it's like an almondy version of Snow Fairy, and I'm so into it. Yes, buy it. And then when I got home and I actually tested it properly, where I was away from the general Lush smell, I was like, ooh, this actually smells like a Lush shop. It smells like walking into a Lush shop. So it has that kind of soapy, like, bath product, but in quite a detergenty way when it dries down. And I think that, like, the fact it says Magnolia on Fragrantica might explain some of the general vibe I'm getting from this. I'm not crazy for it because of that, because Snow Fairy is so easy to wear. It's really pretty, it's really girly, it's super pink. When I was planning on doing like a Barbie video, which I feel like because I'm doing this might now be slightly pointless, but if you want it, tell me if you want my version of like Barbie perfumes, then put it down in my comments and I can have a go. But I think Snow Fairy was like top of my list for smelling like a Barbie perfume. So I understand why they kind of went in this direction. But I feel like they've made a not nice version of Snow Fairy. They've made like a more screechy and more soapy, more detergenty, harder to wear, more floral version of Snow Fairy, which is a little bit of a bummer, right? I mean, I would say you can get Snow Fairy. It's going to be back in like winter. So, I mean, I think it probably comes out in like November. Literally, as soon as their Halloween stuff is gone, they'll bring in their Christmas stuff, and Snow Fairy, you'll be able to get it again. They have this body spray every year. It's very sweet. It's surprisingly strong. It lasts pretty well. If you get it on your clothes, it lasts for hours and hours. But more importantly, you can get it online in terms of you can get it on eBay. It's really easy to buy Snow Fairy. People like to buy it up because it's like it's one they only have at Christmas, and it's like a special edition, limited edition thing every Christmas. And they buy them and they try to sell them for loads of money, and then so many people do that they completely decrease in their value, and you can pretty much buy a Snow Fairy for what you can get it from Lush. And because they come out every year, there's no reason to buy an old one, you know. So I just feel like unless you want this Barbie perfume because it is the Barbie collab, personally, I would say just get Snow Fairy. I think this is like, unless what you want is the smell of a Lush shop. So I can't comment yet on 29 High Street because I have actually managed to win a bottle of that, like a pen spray. But I'm still waiting for it to arrive. And that one is actually supposed to smell like a Lush shop. So as soon as I get that, I will make my Lush limited edition and discontinued perfumes that are in my collection. I'll make that Lush video, and then you'll be able to I'll be able to update you, because this one I'll put in there as well. I'll be able to update you as to whether this actually smells like 29 High Street, because I think that's also possible. It might be this might be 29 High Street repackaged. It might be 29 High Street mixed with Snow Fairy. It's got a slight vibe to me of Amélie May, if you know what that one is. That's like a raspberry and rose perfume. And that one is jammy and slightly sickly. It's also got, yeah, I mean, it's almost like you could be next to a load of bath bombs. There's a Snow Fairy there, there's a Rose Jam there, you know, there's maybe an Amélie May, there's maybe some of them more floral ones. And this is the smell. This just smells like Lush. My personal feelings is I would wait until Christmas and just get Snow Fairy, or I would get Snow Fairy online. I would not really recommend the Barbie Times Lush perfume because it's £35 and I think it just kind of smells like a Lush shop. I think I was so hoping they'd do something interesting here. And they've just recycled scents that they already have and smell, and you know, they've recycled it all for all their products. They could have made something so cool. So personally, I'm a little bit disappointed with this one, and whether it stays in my collection is to be seen, because I'll want to try it in colder weather, because I think this is just I think this is a bit like, there's something sharp in it. There's something in it that isn't really sitting right with me. And I think, again, it's such a shame because when you first spray it, that first bit of like beautiful almond, that almond oil smell is so sweet and creamy and pretty that when that detergenty smell comes through, when that kind of bath bomb smell comes through, it kind of ruins this perfume for me. So it's not a favourite of mine. Yeah, but then when I sniff Snow Fairy on my hand, I'm like, yep, that's the one for me. I think it's very possible that this one won't stay with me, whether I take it back to Lush or whether I give it a go in colder weather, and then if I don't like it, I can just put it on eBay. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I do love Lush. I love Lush, but I think that this is a real wasted opportunity. I think they could have done such a cool scent if they'd have just stuck with cherry and almond without having all the other things in it that have kind of made it smell like a Lush shop. Oh, it would have been absolutely scrumptious. Absolutely scrumptious. A creamy almond version of Snow Fairy. Oh my god, it would have been amazing. And that's exactly what I hoped this would be, but that is not what it is. So yeah. So that's my deeper dive into the old Barbie times Lush. We'll see how I go with it, but personally I think just get Snow Fairy. It's much nicer.